up in the billions. We're talking 61 billion today. That's the size of the planned merger between Broadcom and VMware, which is now under the spotlight after European antitrust regulators saying they're opening an in-depth investigation into the deal, aka a can of whoop ass. Specifically, the EU says Broadcom would restrict competition for certain hardware that works primarily with VM's software. Garrett, do you think this deal will eventually go through, or does the EU have a point about limiting competition here?
Well, the FTC's looking at the deal again as well, and when you have the EU step in, that typically is a little bit more bearish for deals. They're obviously intensive when it comes to antitrust investigations compared to what we kind of do here in the United States, which is throw up a couple of flags, throw out a couple of hearings, and then the deals typically go through. I don't know how this is going to work. I mean, again, the specific focus here is on the supplies of network interface cards and fiber channel host bus adapters and storage adapters. And I don't know what any of that stuff is. So I don't understand the competitive landscape, but it's a big enough deal it's a $61 billion deal that will effectively create a lot of competitive challenges, I think, in the UK. And more than anywhere else. We'll see what happens. Again, second request is coming up. I'm not going to speculate around a trade like this.
All right, so not speculating around a trade, but what about the sector? Is it a bigger deal if this goes through, or is it a bigger deal if it doesn't go through for tech?
I think it's a bigger deal if it goes through, because what this can effectively suggest is that another wave of mergers and acquisitions in the semiconductor space can happen again. And that's, I think, what a lot of people are looking for in this environment. There's a lot of chatter about M&A in 2023. There's a lot of chatter about, companies in the cloud space going private equity companies coming in and taking them over. And if this deal goes through, what it does for a lot of different cloud components and semiconductor companies, it can allow an expansion of potential bidders for other companies that may be struggling or want to sell themselves. So if it goes through, it's positive for the sector. If it doesn't go through, it can weigh on the valuations of other companies in the space.
And when you say M&A, you're not saying MMA, because I did say opening a can of whoop ass. I just really want to say that today. Kenny, let's bring you out here. Bring the guns and grenades. Buyout names are usually off the table for you. Yes, we know. But does the overhang of the EU challenge kind of add a new wrinkle for a possible VWAP trade?
It's funny, those combination of those two companies. Broadcom, one of the first stocks that I ever really did well on. It's also the first stock that I got crushed on, as a matter of fact. Leaving a position open during my bachelor party, came home and it was down 40%. But VMware, no, that's one of the stocks I hate. So a combination of both of those, you know what? It doesn't even fly by me today. I don't look at it at all. I'm not interested, not one bit.
All right, you can hop in Garrett's Beyond Meat van and just drive right by VMW.